Alright, so, we've all read the patch notes, we all know what's happened. Sky Wesker's dead. Or is it? You see, I've been testing today. After going through the 5 stages of grief while I was at work, I did realise that Sky Wesker is in fact not quite dead. As you can see, I made it off the ledge. Now that wasn't very good, but I made it off the ledge. But here's the thing. You can still do very silly things. And the reason for this is runway. Now when I'm talking about runway, I mean that if I were to bound, you can see I hit the wall here. So from this plank, I am 100% going to hit that wall. So if I try to do a little Sky Wesker here, you can see I get stopped mid-air. I went off the edge perfectly fine, but I got stopped mid-air. And if you were just to do a normal bound, because I'm hitting the edge, it stops me. It stops me before I go over. But if I go further back to say here, where I'm not going to hit that edge, if I do my bound, I make it past. I don't get stopped because I don't have that stop animation. I think that's what it is. This whole I bound into a wall and I get stopped, or I bound into an edge and I get stopped, those aren't triggering. And so it doesn't stop me. So when I do like one of the old jumps, you know, like if I try to do this jump here, it works because I still have runway. If I tried doing that with Unicorn, that would not work, because Unicorn has a further runway that you need. But as long as whatever you're doing, like you're not going to hit a wall, you're still fine. You still can fly. Guys, we still have our flying licenses. It's okay. It's just that we have to, you know, we have to practice a bit more and change how we think about it. Even this jump here, like again, it still works. It still attacks someone going from that window. But it's just because I'm using walkie and I don't have as long of a runway. Which, this all means that walkie, I hate to say this, but walkie is the new Sky Wesker meta. It is much more forgiving than using Unicorn, because even there you saw, right, I hit the wall because I was too close. But if I'm further back, I think if I'm about here, like, I keep going. It's perfectly fine. We're not entirely cooked, but it's definitely different. And I found that when I tried doing this jump this morning, because as you can see, it still works. And I did that with Unicorn, which if I go from this range, Unicorn stops about like right here. It doesn't hit the wall. And so we're okay, but like there you saw I ran just out, I hit that post. We're still okay, but it's going to require, you know, some repractice, relearning. This jump here, as you saw at the start, doesn't work anymore because Walkie's range is about here. And if I do, there, you can make it. It's just a lot harder now because you have to make sure you don't hit any edges. But there are some jumps now that just either impossible or have to be relearned. This jump here used to be a favorite of mine, which is that with walkie, like, you can't really get the angle you need anymore, because with walkie you stop about here, I think. So if I angle it just right, I don't think you can. I genuinely don't think you can. You used to just be able to aim right here, right? So I would end here, but I would scoot off that and go flying. But now if I try it, you see I get stopped. I get stopped by the edge. Editing Dean here, you totally can make the jump. It's just very, very precise. The great thing is that from this range, if I do a well-timed hug, you can see I still can do that jump. It's still possible, and with the new like hug tech updates making it easier, you can now do different types of jumps more reliably. So hug jumps are now a lot easier, at least from my perspective. But the problem again is that these are now basically the only way, or one of the main ways now to do Sky Wesker. You need to keep in mind your runway and how far you've got. So if I try doing this jump here from here, you can see I'm not going to go anywhere. But if I'm a bit further back, I open up my runway a bit, I should easily clear it. So we just have to keep that in mind now. It's not a big deal, but this definitely does change a lot of things and make it a lot harder. But we're not cooked, guys. We're not completely cooked. Like this jump is still fine. I wouldn't say it's particularly useful, but it's perfectly fine. And it's worth noting that depending on when you're going to hit the edge is when you'll actually stop, which has an interesting side effect with what I assume they were actually trying to stop. Okay, so the other thing is that we assume that they did this to try and fix the escape tag, which they did not do. In fact, when it comes to ramps, it is now the exact same. It's when it comes to these kinds of jumps, right? Like, if I do the old method of trying to get up there, which is to come right up to this corner, aim, and then do it, you can see that I don't make it across. But I just land on the railing instead. Like, it's... Because the desync is slightly more, like, makes you go slightly further, you can very easily just land on railings. Now, it means that I can't get across here, because I don't have any run. Actually, no, you can't make it across there anymore. So it's sort of fixed. Like, they fixed parts of it, but again, like going on here is trivially easy, and I can still just go onto this. You can see that doing this jump here is now trivially easy. You go right up the top, dash across, and like you can sort of just get out of bounds. It's not that hard. You can even swing across there and go back up. My final thoughts are pretty simple, to be honest. I don't really get why we're doing all this. It feels a bit unnecessary to like make Sky Wesker harder. It's not that strong. It's like kind of cool. Honestly, it's just a shame that we're now increasing the skill floor to do Sky Wesker, because I like seeing it in public games. I think it's funny. I don't think it's strong. I don't think I've ever heard anyone complain about it, except maybe when people go out of bounds, which is fine. I think that probably shouldn't be in the game, but we haven't even fixed that. So why have we done all this? But yeah, hopefully this gets reverted, along with the other problems I've been hearing about to do with like pre-inputs and flicking and things. I don't really understand why we're here. It feels weird. It feels weird that we've lowered the skill floor for hugging and then increased the skill floor for Sky Weskering. It doesn't really make sense. And hopefully they decide to change their mind. And especially hopefully they don't fix the things I've shown today just because I showed them. That is not the message to take away from this video. This video is the cope. It's how to do things that we used to do if behavior doesn't change their minds, which hopefully they do. But yeah, that's about it for me. I guess I'll be back in like another 2 years or something.